Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to cover the topic food processing and technology. This video is useful for all those students who are preparing for ICAR NET Food Technology. If you see in the syllabus of ICAR NET Food Technology, in Unit 1, you can find a topic named Introduction to Food Technology. In this video, we'll be covering that particular topic. So let's start the video. Food items, they are being processed for various reasons. With passage of time, improved transportation, communication, and increasing industrialization, the needs of consumer have become more diverse, and there's now increasing demand for fresh and organic foods, safer and healthier foods, and foods with adequate shelf life. As we all know that food items, they are being processed on a large scale these days. There are quite a number of reasons for their processing, like the fruits and vegetables, etc. They are perishable products and they cannot be kept for a longer period of time and they will ultimately spoil. Therefore, it is necessary to process them and increase their shelf life so that they can be used for a longer period of time. There are quite a lot number of reasons because of which the food items are being processed on such a large scale. India has progressed from an agro-deficit to an agro-surplus country, and this has led to the need for storage and processing of agriculture and horticulture produce. If there is lack of storage facilities or lack of processing facilities, then the crops or the food items which are being produced, they would be wasted and they would get spoiled if they are not processed. So there's a great need of storage and processing of agriculture and horticulture produce in the present era. Besides, changes in lifestyle, increasing mobility and globalization have increased the demands for various types of products, making the research for new technologies necessary. It is well known that simple diets based largely on staple foods such as cereals are often deficient in certain nutrients, leading to their deficiency disorders. Therefore, food fortification is done by adding the nutrients that is lacking in the foodstuffs or condiments to ensure that minimum dietary requirements are met. You can see +F sign on the food products which are being fortified with other nutrients. Some examples of such products I can give you are like the iodized salt, the milks and oils. There are also vitamin A and vitamin D are added to the milks and oils or the fats, and folic acids, etc. are added to the flour. And in fact, the FSSAI, it has laid down standards for fortification of staple foods like salt, wheat, flour, milk, and oats, which are largely consumed by maximum population. Increasing prevalence of diseases like heart disease and diabetes and concern about wellness has made it necessary for scientists to alter the nutrient content of the food, like reducing the calorie content of the processed food in a number of ways, such as using artificial sweeteners. Likewise, the fat from ice creams, they are being replaced by specially treated proteins, which give ice cream the smooth texture associated with fat, but the energy value is reduced. And in such ways, the fortification and the improvement in the food items are being done these days. Consumer perceptions about foods, they have changed, and the demand for foods free of chemicals, pesticides, and preservatives, yet having a longer shelf life and retaining their natural flavor and appearance, is rapidly increasing. The consumer perceptions have changed and they now want foods which are free from chemicals, free from pesticides, free from preservatives, but though they should have a longer shelf life as well as they should retain their natural flavor and appearance. But the demand is that there should be minimum use of preservatives and chemicals, and they should be more in their natural form. All this has increased the importance of food processing and technology as a discipline. And there's a huge demand for food technologists in order to meet this demand. Now, coming to what is food science. It is a distinct field involving the application of basic sciences such as chemistry and physics, culinary arts, agronomics, and microbiology. It is a broad discipline concerned with all the technical aspects of food, beginning with harvesting or slaughtering and ending with cooking and consumption. Food scientists, they have to use the knowledge of biology, physical sciences, engineering to study the composition of food, changes that are occurring at the different stages from harvest to different processes and storage, the causes of their spoilage, and the principles underlying the food process. The food scientists, they deal with physiochemical aspects of food, thus helping to understand the nature and their properties. Coming to what is food processing. It is the set of methods and techniques which are used to transform the raw materials into finished and semi-finished products. Food processing requires good quality raw materials from either plants or animal sources to be converted into attractive marketable products with longer shelf life. Now, what is food technology? Technology is the science and application of scientific as well as socio-economic knowledge and legal rules for production. Food technology uses and exploits knowledge of food science as well as food engineering to produce varied foods. Study of food technology gives in-depth knowledge of science and technology and develops skills for selection, storage, preservation, processing, packaging, and distribution of wholesome, nutritious, desirable, and convenient foods. Another significant aspect of food technology is to promote the sustainability in order to avoid the wastage and save and utilize all the food which are being produced and ensure safe and sustainable processing practices which are being done. Now, food manufacturing. It is the mass production of the food products using the principles of food technology to meet the diverse need of the growing population. Food manufacturing is one of the largest manufacturing industries in the present times. Now, coming to the development of food processing and technology. Research in the field of food technology has been conducted for decades. In 1810, development of the canning process by Nicolas Appert was a decisive event. Canning had a major impact on the food preservation techniques. You all might have studied the canning process during your course. And as we all know that it is one of the most effective food preservation techniques, which was developed by Nicolas Appert. Later, Louis Pasteur researched in 1864 on spoilage of wine, and his description of how to avoid spoilage was an early attempt to put food technology on a scientific basis. Besides wine spoilage, Pasteur conducted research on production of alcohol, vinegar, wines, beer, and storing of milk. He developed pasteurization, the process of treating milks in order to destroy the disease-producing organism, and pasteurization was a significant advance in ensuring microbiological safety of foods. So Louis Pasteur was the person who developed pasteurization technique, and it proved to be a significant advancement in ensuring microbiological safety of the food products. Food technology was initially used to serve military needs. In the 20th century, World War's exploration of space and rising demands for varied products from consumer contributed to the growth of food technology. Products such as instant soup mixes, ready-to-cook items, including meals, were developed specially catering to needs for working women. As we all know that our life in our real life, we are actually more and more dependent to all these instant products and ready-to-cook items, because in today's life, the people are more in rush. They don't have time in order to cook foods and give time for cooking and all. So more and more people, such as the working women, they are dependent on these kind of products, such as instant ready-to-eat products. So these food industries were compelled to focus on the nutritional concerns as well. The food preferences and choices changed, and people started incorporating into their diet food items preparation from different regions and countries. The desire to have seasonal food all year around increased. And in order to meet this demand, so as to provide the seasonal food throughout the year, food processing was required. Because we definitely cannot keep seasonal food for the entire year without any kind of food preservation technique. This is how development of food processing and technology was proceeding. Food technologists made efforts to provide both safer and fresher food using newer techniques. In the 21st century, food technologists are challenged to produce food suitable for health and other changing needs of consumers. Food technology has provided a vast variety of safe and convenient foods. In developing countries, this rapidly expanding and developing field has been helpful in improving food security and has opened avenues for employment at all levels. Coming to importance of food processing and preservation. As it has been already mentioned that food processing is a branch of manufacturing wherein raw materials are being transformed into intermediate foodstuffs or edible products through the application of scientific knowledge, technologies, and processing methods. Various processes are used to convert bulky perishable items into useful, concentrated, self-stable products. Changes in product often reduce preparation time for the cook. Most of the time, processing of foods adds value to the resultant product by increasing their storability, portability, palatability, and convenience. Professionals in the food processing, they need to be knowledgeable about general characteristics of the raw food material, their principles of preservation, processing factors which influence the quality, packaging, water, and waste management, good manufacturing processes, and sanitation procedures. Foods are subject to physical, chemical, and biological deteriorations. Food deterioration, they are associated with spoilage, development of off flavors, deterioration in their textures, discoloration, loss in their nutritional value, and or reducing the aesthetic appeal and rendering it unsafe or unfit for consumption. Therefore, there was need for food processing and preservation. A number of factors can lead to food deterioration, as we all know, such as infestation by pests, insect, inappropriate temperatures, which are used for processing, or the storage, excessive exposure to light, oxygen, moisture, etc. Food is also contaminated with microorganisms such as bacteria, molds, etc., or chemicals such as pesticides. Foods can also be spoiled due to degradation by the naturally present enzymes. In addition, the physical and chemical changes in certain constituents of food from plant and animal sources occur soon after harvesting or slaughtering, altering the food quality. Therefore, food processing and preservations are required to preserve food in edible and safe form, method by which food is preserved from spoiling after harvesting or slaughtering date back to prehistoric times. The oldest methods used for preservations were sun-drying, controlled fermentation, pickling, roasting, smoking, baking, etc. Or using spices as preservatives were also one of the ancient techniques of preservation. These tried and tested techniques are still used, but there are newer methods which are being developed for making these preservations, food preservations, more effective. Food processing incorporates and unifies the general characteristics of different classes of foods and principles of food science, food microbiology, sensory analysis, and statistics, including good manufacturing practices as per regulations. Many food processing operations are designed to extend the shelf life of the food product. The concept associated with food processing are reducing and eliminating the microbial activity and other factors which are leading to food spoilage. The principal microorganisms that caused food spoilage are the bacteria, fungi, and yeast, and molds. We can just recollect whatever we have studied in our biology subject, that how they grow under very rapidly under congenial conditions. There are several factors such as their pH, the moisture, the oxygen levels, and the presence or absence of inhibiting substance, which lead to their growth. The activity of enzymes inherently present in foods also depends on pH and temperatures. Oxidative enzymes in fresh fruits and vegetables, they continue to use oxygen to metabolize, reducing the shelf life of fruits and vegetables. So the basic concepts in food processing methods to prevent food spoilage are application of heat, removal of water or moisture, lowering of temperatures during storage, reducing the pH, or controlling the availability of oxygen, and etc. etc. There are quite a number of preservation techniques you all might know. So now coming to certain definitions, processed foods can be classified on basis of extent and type of processing as follows. First one is minimally processed foods. So what are those? These are processed as little as possible in order to retain the quality of fresh foods. Generally, the process used are cleaning, trimming, shelling, cutting, etc. Preserved foods. The methods of preservation used do not change the character of the product substantially. For example, frozen peas, frozen vegetables, dehydrated products such as vegetables, peas, or canned fruits and vegetables. Next is manufactured foods. In such products, the original characteristics of the raw products are lost, and some basic methods of preservation are used, often using various ingredients such as salt, sugar, oil, or even chemical preservatives such as examples of such products are pickles, jams, pappers, etc. These are the products prepared by mixing and processing of individual ingredients to result in relatively shelf-stable food products such as bread, biscuits, ice creams, etc. Food derivatives. In industries, components of foods may be obtained from the raw product through purification, such as sugar from sugarcane, oil from oil seeds. In some cases, the derivative or the component may be processed further, conversion of oil to vanaspati through the process called hydrogenation. Next is functional foods. These are the foods that can have beneficial effects on the human health, such as the probiotics. Next is medical foods. These are used in dietary management of diseases, for example, low sodium salt, lactose-free milk for persons with lactose intolerance. Coming to the conclusion, the food industry is involved in processing and manufacturing, research and development, ensuring food safety and monitoring food quality by improving the quality control procedures, costing to ensure profitable production and regulatory affairs. The demand for processed, packaged, and convenient foods with prolonged shelf life requires well-trained human source in the food industry. There is an encouraging challenge and rewarding future for professionals and careers in food technology and food processing industry, as this field requires the application of science and technology to the processing, utilization, preservation, packaging, and distribution of food and food products, and encompasses a diverse range of specialization. So that was all about what basically food technology is. So we have completed the particular topic named Introduction to Food Technology. That was all about the topic. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, please do share and subscribe to my channel, Food Tech Section.